please. I will keep quiet.
When a matter is raised of that magnitude, you responsibly ask. I asked in my office to investigate the matter, and so that we would really know what the problem was. This matter came to my attention. I was out of the country, and when I spoke, to my PS, I asked him to really move into action and really direct that administratively, and because it is within his domain, to liaise with the National Cereals and Produce Board for us to be able to ensure, in the event that the complaint was genuine, then farmers do not get that batch of fertilizer that had a problem, and for that matter was to stop the distribution until proper tests as I directed to confirm the composition of the fertilizers were ascertained, so that, because that was what was to guide us moving forward, which we did, and we stopped the distribution of the NPK 102610 fertilizer, as we ordered for investigations and directed that farmers that were planting be given alternative fertilizer, as we were trying to conduct investigations to know whether the allegation was true.
Anything in your further steps?
No, that's what we did. That is what you asked me to do. That's the question you asked, which I have answered. That is what we did.
I'm trying to be very fair to you, Cabinet Secretary. Is there anything else that you did after, any further steps that you did? Did you convene departmental meetings, or did you do anything else?
I know that I also asked that our different labs, because we have Kenya's certified laboratories, one that is run by the Kenya Health Plant Inspectorate Service and CALRO. These are the supporting agencies that support my ministry to further undertake those tests on the fertilizer that was within that batch, and be able to report to me. That's what I did.
Have you finished?
Yes, I have.
You did think that as a Cabinet Secretary, you should have a word with your Principal Secretary.
I said when I was out of the country and the matter arose, we spoke. So
what steps did you take? I've asked you a very simple question. When you came back, what steps did you take in order to arrest the problem of the fake fertilizers?
I sent, we discussed with the PS, we stopped the distribution, and I also directed that samples be taken to KEFIS and CALDO for analysis. That's what I did.
Now, in your ministry, you have a number of departments. Yes, sir. That's it. Okay. That's okay. Sorry. My bad. Oh, this one. Oh, thank you. You are familiar with this order, executive order number 2 of 2023. Are you familiar with it?
Particularly which part of
Now this order of executive order of 2023, you are familiar with it? I'm trying to look for your ministry of agriculture. Well, if you could show me. Could you show me Ministry of Agriculture here? I'm asking you respectfully. Can you show me the Ministry of Agriculture?
it is not there.
I'm telling you that could you go through and show me where the Ministry of Agriculture is?
But I'm asking, are you suggesting it's not here?
Yeah. Could you look at page 49, please? Page 49.
Very good, I am there.
You have seen it.
I'm just trying to peruse it, just give me a minute. Yes.
You have seen it. Let us accept this. Now, you are, of course, if I may ask you a very simple question, you are the one in charge of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are a number of institutions in the ministry, a number of departments and etc. in the ministry, and you are the one who was and who is overall in charge. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm in charge of policy direction.
Yeah, you are in charge of the policy directions. Now, is there anything else that you would suggest to the honorable members of what you do apart from the policy directions? Is there anything else that you do?
Of course, I formulate, present and articulate cabinet memoranda, initiation, sessional papers and other policy issues of the ministry. I respond to questions in Parliament as provided for and Article 1.3 of the Constitution, and or any other function that is delegated to me by the President.
By any other functions that is delegated to you by the President. There is an institution known as the National Cereals and Produce Board. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, under you.
Yes.
And it has a managing director.
Yes.
Yes. Now, these fake fertilizers concern the National Cereals and Produce Board. Am I correct or not correct? The fake fertilizers concern to which institution in the department, in the ministry?
When you look at my evidence,
No, I want to I'm just trying to...
National Cereals and Produce Board is a saga within my ministry.
Is it what?
I state as an autonomous agency
Yes.
in my ministry
Yes.
with an accounting officer,
Yes.
with MD,
Yes.
formed by an act of parliament
Yes.
with its responsibilities.
Yes.
The extent that I do for NSPB is to appoint members of the board to run that institution. And the MD We are vacant.
The managing director is appointed by you.
But it's appointed by the minister.
Yeah, you're the one who appoints the managing director.
By law, I'm the one supposed to appoint the manager on recommendation of the board.
Yeah, you're the one who does the appointment. Now, the fertilizers concerns the national serious and produce board. Is that correct or am I wrong?
What do you mean by concerned?
Now, the fertilizers fall under which institution in your ministry?
The National Cereals and Produce Board is the one that advertises for purchase of fertilizer.
The National
Cereals and Produce Board
is the one that
attend the advert.
Yes.
And they procure fertilizer on behalf of government.
Yes. Now, when the issue of fake fertilizer came up, did you have a word with the managing director? Did you have a meeting with him?
Of course, when this thing happened, I had a meeting with him. I wanted to know what Hadley and Conyo, because the first thing I wanted to understand was whether he had actually taken my instructions, which I am given on the 20th of December, that before supply of any fertilizer by any supplier, then those suppliers should have complied with the directive of filing the chemical composition of the fertilizers that were meant to be acquired by them, depending on what category each of the bidders won. Yes.
About how many meetings do you have with the managing director?
I do meetings with my MDs.
No, on this way, we're dealing with fertilizers. I'm interested in fertilizers.
Then
about how many meetings do you have?
Have been many meetings to discuss fertilizer. I may not remember how to endow me, because this is a matter that I even appeared with him in Parliament. And there's also meetings that I would call for him to brief me on the distribution changes and the program that they had put in place so that the farmers are not inconvenienced. So I ran a number of meetings with him.
Okay, what did he tell you had happened regarding the fake fertilizers? What did he tell you?
What the information I got from him was that, contrary to what was out there, there was an issue within a batch of around 3,000 bags which did not comply with the agreed standards. That was the only issue.
What else did he say to you?
That is what he sent.
Yeah. Did you find that there was something that he should have done and he did not do?
Of course, looking at what I had asked him to do, and looking at the tender advert, the specs, because the tender document was clear that complied to certain KEPS standards, and he had given out the award to the tenderers. Then it was the responsibility of the supplier really to conform to the standards and the quality that was agreed between them and Kenya Bureau, between them and the National Cereals and Produce Board.
So you did not find anything wrong with him at all? You have done his job properly. Is that correct?
As far as the tendering process was done, exercised is due exercise this mandate as the accounting officer. There is nothing that time which I had to imagine or to believe that he had not done what he was required to do by law. And in any case, some of the fertilizers we are talking about and being distributed to the farmers, if that information, which I highly regret, about that batch did not come to our attention, probably would not have known.
So far as we are concerned, there is nobody within the ministry who can be blamed for anything regarding the fake. Nobody.
Nobody in the Ministry of Agriculture.
Nobody within the Ministry of
Nobody in the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development can be blamed.
Can be blamed?
Yes. That's what I believe.
That's the conclusion you came to.
That is what I believe, and you, unless you prove me to the contrary, because just like we failed to demonstrate, these institutions, they are semi-autonomous, they are institutions guided by or created by law, they are institutions that have accounting officers, and wherein the application of public money must comply with the requirements of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act. And anyone who directly or indirectly has no responsibility under the law may not be blamed for it, but those people whose responsibility on procurement is vested on them, then are the people that are supposed to be answerable.
And according to you, that's why the managing director continues to work. He has not been disciplined in any way at all.
The managing director is not in office, and the board met last week. They suspended him. The board suspended him last week.
Why?
I have not yet perused the letter or the minutes of that board discussion, because it happened again when I was not around. But I think probably for them to get an opportunity to investigate and understand the circumstances surrounding this whole procurement of the fertilizer that we are distributing to farmers.
As if it's suspended because of the fertilizer or not?
I'm saying, and because I have not looked at the reasons advanced by the board, because generally when they propose to make changes to the board, they are supposed to do a communication to me. Remember, I think it's only timely to have communication done in writing. So and until I have been served or have been notified of that in writing, all these other stories out there is something I will not really want to cling to. But because of our responsibility to tell the country the truth and the status or the issues as I know them, that's why I'm telling you, as we sit here this afternoon or this evening, the managing director of National Cereals and Produce Board is not in office.
When was he suspended?
I'm saying sometime last week.
Last week?
Yes.
And you haven't found out why he was suspended at all?
I'm telling you that, our main job on ensuring fertilizer gets the farmers. And especially at this time we are top dressing. And especially at this time when I want to remedy the situation of the number of the farmers that allegedly did not get the right standard fertilizer. I need to be actively involved in curing that problem, because it's a problem that we believe we can be able to cure, because like I said before, that the standards that were agreed on this fertilizer, the fertilizer that is the subject of this debate, is the 10-26-10. And because the preliminary findings about this, and this is why I have not associated myself with anyone fake, is because my scientists or my advisors and the labs, I'm told, have established that there is deficiency in the amount of nitrogen or phosphorus or potassium in the fertilizer. So when you have less nitrogen in the fertilizer, then if you are going to do 10 and you have done 8%, you are less by 2 percentage points, then makes me now start thinking, yes, we may have applied the nutrients in that fertilizer were not enough. And because they were not enough and plants have already grown, the best thing is to do is then investigation at the second phase, and this message you are relying on farmers to really add more fertilizer that has nitrogen.
Now, let me ask you another question. At the time you have this fake fertilizers, was the managing director who has been suspended in office? Did he participate in the process?
The MD is the one that oversaw the procurement of the fertilizer. So that responsibility is vested on him.
Yes.
To do it.
And he's the one who participated in the process.
He managed the process because the man influenced him. And just like we showed, we have an organizational structure that shows how NSPB is governed.
By the way, these fertilizers were to be imported, is that correct?
I think for purposes of...
the fertilizers were to be imported, is that correct?
Kenya does not produce fertilizer.
Yes.
I think it is important to let the country know. Kenya does not produce fertilizer because we do not have the necessary raw material for production of fertilizer, so most of our fertilizer is imported.
Yes. So what His Excellency William Samoei Ruto said about him recently is correct. Can you look at this?
Saying about him.
Just read it loudly. Could you read it loudly, please?
I think this is whatever you've found or you've downloaded this one from, and this must have happened probably today, which I'm not sure, because as we sit here,
it happened today. You seem not to be aware, but I think
I'm saying it happened today.
Yeah.
I am the Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development. I opened this forum on the Africa Fertilizer and Soil Summit,
what you said,
and today was the presidential day for the African presidents and everybody else.
Yeah. So
and if this is what the president said, I associate myself completely with his sentiment, because saying Africa must work towards securing affordable, quality and accessible fertilizers through local manufacturing. We for us to be able to get fertilizer, we must encourage investors. We must have people producing fertilizers locally. We must bring or create incentives for the country to manufacture fertilizer. So I agree with my boss completely that this will not have even come at a better time than today, when the presidents of Africa and other participating dignitaries were at KICC when I'm here discussing the African fertilizer and soil health in our country.
Now, you say that there is no nexus between what happened and yourself. You still maintain that that's the position?
There's none at all. None at all.
Yeah. Why you not the one who was responsible for, as a minister for agriculture, to make sure that we had good fertilizers, not fake fertilizers?
I think I exercised I took my work very seriously. And what I did, or what I was trying to do, when I wrote that letter, which is in my affidavit, on page 367, you can see for yourself that I didn't exercise caution even to direct that people must supply fertilizer that is of good quality. Secondly, I also want to mention there is no nexus, because you just shown me the executive order that provides my office. If you look at the affidavit, my affidavit, and especially paragraph 6, outlines the work that I'm supposed to do as a minister. When you look at the procurement law, they have clearly shown to you on demonstrated where there is function of procurement, or who should bear responsibility on gaps or errors of commission in regard to procurement should lie. So there is completely no nexus between me and the purchase of the fertilizer, and I do not have the capacity to direct any procuring entity or any seller within my ministry to do anything in regard to procurement.
Cabinet Secretary, the money that was going to be spent on fertilizers was colossal. 5 billion shillings. Is that correct?
No, you are wrong.
How much of it?
Let me guide you.
No, I'm asking you how much is it?
No, let me tell you.
No, I'm asking you the figure. I'm just interested in the figure.
I am telling you are wrong, and the correct amount of fertilizer that the amount of taxpayers' money we are spending in the year 2024 in the budget.
The fake
We
budget.
have only 2 months to the budget, the close of the year. We are spending around 12 billion.
12?
Yes, 12 billion.
12
Up to that year, June. Yes.
Yeah, 12
That's the
billion
budget. So
shillings.
it's not 5.
That was a lot of
That
money.
is the investment and the commitment that this government has put into money to deliver food in this country and to realize the food agenda. So it's not as little money.
Okay.
And that's how William Ruto is serious in feeding the country.
Yes. Cabinet Secretary, 12 billion shillings is a lot of money for a poor country. Is that correct?
We have to spend that. We must invest in agriculture to transform this country,
Yes.
to make, agriculture is a source of raw material for manufacturing. We must feed ourselves. We must reduce our import budgets on edible oils. This is serious, and that's why that's why government is supporting production against consumption. I agree with you. It's not
And
much
my
money.
simple question, it is a colossal sum of money, 12 billion shillings.
Depends on what the money is supposed to be doing. I am still insisting. I will be appealing to this honorable house, this parliament, to earn more money to agriculture, because I don't believe it's properly funded.
But could you answer my question? In the present context, in the present circumstances, 12 billion shillings is a lot of money.
When you look at our production vis-a-vis our investment, you realize 12 million shillings compared 12 billion shillings compared to what we are producing a country has been properly spent.
Yes. Now, you as the minister in charge, you must have put up a case within government circles for this amount of money to be assigned to your ministry for fertilizers.
Yes.
You took an interest.
Yes, we want more money to come to
You took an
agriculture.
interest in this amount of money, 12 billion shillings. Did you take any steps to ensure that it was well spent?
I defend budgets in Parliament. When we get money, the responsibility or accounting responsibility is vested in the Principal Secretary. I'm not the accounting officer of the ministry.
Did you, as a man in charge, take an interest to make sure that the money was being spent?
I have a very competent Principal Secretary, and because I have a competent Secretary and the President exercised his mind and discretion to give me officers to work with who know what their responsibilities are, and I've not had any doubt at all on the capacity of my peers to deal with the issues of accountability. I do not have any reason to doubt them. Secondly, let me also say that the ministry is on the tent. The Public Accounts Committee oversights our ministries. And since the oversight function is exercised by Parliament, then I think where there is a mistake or where money is not properly spent, there could be adverse reports on change of ministry.
Let me ask you, I'm not trying to...
So my money is properly
This particular 12 billion shillings, was it well spent? The answer is either yes or no.
The 12
billion shillings, was it well spent?
The year is not even over. Have we even given you a budget for the year or what we even intend to spend?
Now,
So
how much money did you spend on the fake fertilizers?
We do not spend any money on fake
How much
fertilizer.
money did you spend?
We have not spent any money on fake fertilizer.
You did not?
No. Spent any money. We did not advertise to buy fake fertilizer. Hence, we did not apply to purchase fake fertilizer.
Is it?
Yeah, why is the I've shown you the adverts adverts to builders to apply to sell fertilizer to the country. There is no single line on this advert that shows we are applying for sale of fake fertilizer.
I'm referring to fake fertilizers that is this committee is looking into, is investigating.
I don't think this committee is looking into fake fertilizer. Unless you not understood
It's looking into what?
before this committee. And I'm sorry, and respectively, say that this committee is investigating a motion presented by the member from Mula to get me out of office. Is not investigating fake fertilizer.
So can I ask, why was a member of Parliament, why do you tender the motion for you to get you out of here, the curtains?